Thank you so much for joining our live session today. I'm Catherine, and we are streaming live today from TikTok as well as from YouTube. So if you're joining us, if it's your first time, you're very much welcome. And I'm gonna be looking both sides because, of course, like I mentioned earlier, we are streaming from TikTok as well as from YouTube, and we have a lot to talk about today. So if you're here, just stay locked in. And of course, we all are going to be learning a lot of things today. By the way, guys, I trust your week have been good. I trust you all had a very, very wonderful week. And today's Friday, so I know everyone like Friday. So guys, how have you guys been? How's life? How's everything? Hope everything is going on well. Again, thank you for joining. If you're new here, I'm Catherine, and my TikTok, I'm streaming both from YouTube as well as from TikTok. My TikTok name is HR Kate, and the YouTube name is Winning Mindset. So, just like the name of our YouTube, I want us to talk about something very, very important. I want us to talk about something very important, and I have some things I jotted down here. The topic of our stream today is unlocking the power of the mind. Unlocking the power of the mind. So we have to look at some different ways that you want to unlock the power of the mind. So there are some keys that you need in order to unlock the power of your mind. You know, if you have a door, each one of us, we are living in a house, and before entering into that house, we need the keys to open the door. And if without the key, let's say the door is actually closed, we will be unable to unlock the door to get inside. So just like the mind, there are so many things, so many powerful, there are so much power our mind have. But if we don't have the right keys to unlock in order to generate the power of the mind, we will not be able to access it. Right. So anyway, let's see what we are talking about today. Let's dive in straight. First of all, something I wrote here, I said, train your brain to transform your life. How amazing is that? Train your brain to transform your life. Train your brain to transform your life. So these are some of the things I want us to address. Thank you for joining. I can see a couple of people joining us from TikTok. I can see a couple of them joining us from YouTube. You're very much welcome. Thank you for joining. And please stay locked in, and we are all going to learn a lot. So our topic again, as like I said earlier, is unlocking the power of the mind. And then I said, train your brain to transform your life. Train your brain to transform your life. So how do you train your brain to transform your life? Hi, thank you so much, Anya, for joining. Please, if you're new here, kindly subscribe to our channel. We're very happy to have you here. I see TP, thank you so much for joining. I see Lemna, thank you so much. We see a couple of people joining us from YouTube. We have a lot of people joining us today. Thank you so much. So our topic today, like I said earlier, unlocking the power. And again, sorry, we are streaming from YouTube as well as from TikTok. Our name on TikTok is HR Kate, and on YouTube is The Winning Mindset. Now, going to our topic of today. Thank you so much, Anya. Thank you. I'm happy to have you here. So our topic of today is unlocking the power of the mind. And we said here, train your brain to transform your life. Train your brain to transform your life. So some things I outlined here. I want to say something here. So in this live stream, we're going to dive into some hidden capabilities of the human mind. Some hidden capabilities, like some things that you can do that you did not know that you can do. So we are diving into some hidden capabilities of the human mind. Those are some of the things we're going to be diving into today. And how our thoughts, beliefs, focus, and subconscious can shape our reality. How our thoughts, beliefs, focus, and subconscious can shape our reality. In this live stream, I'm going to talk to you. I'll guide you through the science, real life examples, and practical exercise practically exercise that when you engage in, you'll be able to transform your life. So now let's go to the first one. Again, you guys are very much welcome. Okay. So I want us to look at this one I shared 1 minute. How you can transform your life with your mind. Now, there are something, I believe a couple of us have gone through those things. There are sometimes that maybe you're thinking of somebody, right? You think of somebody, and before you know, your phone rings, and that's the person that you thought about just called you. Some things like that have happened. I think it has happened to me countless times, and I believe it must have happened to a couple of us here. You're just thinking of something, and then you're just thinking like, oh, I would like to eat this food. Before you know, you're going through your internet, or maybe your Instagram or any page, you find the food there. Those things are not, they are not magical. Those things are real. So it's the same way that we can train our mind, train our visual systems, the visualization of our mind, to attract the kind of life we really desire to live. Now let's go through. Okay. Now I want us to talk about what is the power of the mind. What is the power of the mind? The mind is one of the most powerful parts of our body. The mind is one of the most powerful parts of our body, and it has its nation. That's why they call it the imagination. So I'll say our imagination, or our mind, is one of the greatest parts of our body, and our imagination is the greatest nation in the world. Now, I believe if you're asked today, what's the greatest nation in the world? Like, what's the greatest nation? Which country do you think is the greatest nation? Maybe some of you are going to say, oh, maybe America is the greatest. Maybe Turkey is the greatest. Maybe you're going to call one or two other countries. But then our mind is the greatest nation in the world. That's why it is called imagination, because everything that you go through, or that, becomes a reality through you, begins with the mind. For example, the clothes I'm wearing, this is a black and white cloth. The clothes didn't just come up from somewhere. Someone had imagined, like, okay, I want to produce a cloth, and I want it to be like this. I want it to be like this. And then I want to produce a material. And then he produced the material. First of all, he imagined it. In his mind, he was like, this is what I want to produce. And after he imagined it, he produced the material. And then a tailor comes in. A tailor says, okay, I want to sew a cloth. And they ask the tailor, how do you want the clothes to be? The tailor first sits and imagine, oh, I want the dress to be like this. And I want that when the owner wears it, they'll feel this way, they'll feel this way. So first of all, everything you have, everything you see, it always begins first in the mind. Okay, so let's see. Now I wrote something here. I said the subconscious mind controls up to 95% of your life. The subconscious mind controls up to 95% of your life. And guess what? You're not lazy, you're being programmed. I know sometimes you feel like, oh my God, I'm so lazy. Oh my God, I cannot do this. No, you're not lazy. You're being programmed. Your subconscious mind, it controls 95% of your daily life. And also, do you know that your brain rewrites itself every time you learn something new? That's the neuroplasticity in action. Your brain rewrites itself every time you learn something new. Again, like I said earlier, the subconscious mind controls 95% of your life. Let's say, for example, you're thirsty. Once you see the water, right? You're thirsty, and then you see the water. What do your mind tells you? Grab the water and drink immediately because you're thirsty. But you're thirsty, and you know that where you are, you cannot easily get access to water. What do you have to do? Your mind tells you you cannot have easy access to water. So you have to control the thirst until you're able to have access to water, then you can drink. So everything that you have, everything that happens before it happens in the physical, it takes place in the mind. You see, I quoted an example of the cloth before we could sew. I believe that you're watching this, you must have gone through school, and before you go and write those exams, you must have studied and you have everything in your mind. Before you even go to that interview, you're working, you go to that interview in your mind. You must have carried out the interview already in your mind. You feel like, okay, when I go there, this is how I should dress. And once I'm dressed like this is how they have to look at me. And once they look at me in this manner, these are the questions they will ask me. And if they ask me these questions, these are the things I should ask. You see that your mind is already playing 95%, like your mind tells you everything. Even if you want to cook, your mind already goes ahead. Oh, I think I should cook this one. And maybe if I should cook this one, this is the kind of quantity of salt I want to put. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Or if you're going to that job, you in your mind, I need to wake up at this time. And when I wake up at this time, this is what I have to do first. And this is what I have to do next. And I also have to make sure I have to catch up the boss at this time. So everything is happening already in your mind. Now, I want to tell you something. Your beliefs shape your behavior. Now, if you believe that, oh, you're very lazy, you cannot, these particular things are not for people like me, I cannot achieve that, it's definitely going to happen. I think we addressed something like that last time. Your beliefs shape your behavior. And every belief comes in the mind. You start believing in the mind. You believe that you cannot do this. You believe that you cannot achieve that. So if you believe that you can achieve those things, you start, sometimes we limit ourselves by our mind. We put those limitations, we put those barriers. We say, oh, these kind of things, we cannot achieve them. Or I cannot become the CEO of this company. I cannot have at least 50 workers. I cannot have this number of clients. I know I'm a salesperson, but I cannot have this kind of clients. I'm into real estate, but I don't believe that I can do this kind of sales as a real estate. Or maybe I'm into food selling. I don't believe that I can have a client that will order maybe 50 plates of food at the same time. You already work it in your mind. And then when those things don't become a reality, we start feeling like, oh, we are cursed. Like, why are these kind of things not happening to me? Why is it happening to others? Why is my own situation like that? But you already have it in your mind. Because even the Bible says, it says, God who is exceedingly abundantly above all that we think or ask. It doesn't say we think and ask. It says think or ask, which means that your mind speaks, your word speaks. Your mind is speaking. Thank you so much, Paul. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Your mind is speaking and your words are speaking. Hi, Paul. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. So your mind is speaking and your words are speaking. So your words are powerful as your mind. The Bible says what? It says God who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you think or ask, which means that with your mind you can shape your life 100%. With your mind you can reshape your environment, you can reshape your work. We become what we think about. A lot of time we say we become what we eat, and that's true. If we eat a lot of junk food, we become so junky. And we become what we think about. If we think we are lazy, we become lazy. Now, how can someone keep thinking like, oh my God, I don't think that since I'm into sales, I can make this kind of sales, or I'm into this kind of business, I cannot get this kind of clients. They're not for me. That's exactly what you will get. You will get the kind of clients that you believe you can get. You will get the kind of clients that you believe you can get. So I want us to reshape our mind. I want us to be brave. I want us to believe. It doesn't take us anything. It's just believing. I know sometimes the world have already made a shape where it puts everyone in a box. When you try to think out of the box, people feel like, oh, you're exaggerating. Like, where are you coming from? No one has ever achieved those things that you're saying. Like, no one even dares go to those kind of areas, those kind of imagination. You're exaggerating, but that's not the case. You're not all about the world. You're different. You're royal priesthood. You're a peculiar generation. You're different. You have to stand out differently. Let me read some of the things that I wrote here. I'm just going to, highlight it, okay? Again, I said that the subconscious mind controls 95% of your life, just like what I said. I said to you, you're not lazy. You're being programmed. Now, if you tell your mind that you're lazy, you cannot wake up early to work out, you're lazy, you cannot wake up early to work out, you've told your mind that, it will be almost impossible for you to wake up and go out there to work out. It's going to be almost impossible. But if you tell your mind like, oh, I believe that I can wake up at this time and go to work out before it's time for me to go out to work. By that time, you will find yourself waking up sluggishly, but because you've already programmed your mind that this is something that you must do, you find yourself crawling out of the bed. And then you go the first day, and then you go the second day. Before you know, it becomes a lifestyle and it becomes very easy. Okay. Now, here it says belief systems and reality. So we're going to another part. Belief systems and reality. Whatever you believe, you become. If you believe you're weak, I'm not going to lie to you, you're weak. But if that same belief you decide to change, that you're brave and you're strong, I'm telling you the truth, you are brave and you are strong. If you decide that you can achieve a certain amount of thing within a period of time, and you study and look at the different strategies on how to achieve those things, and you work towards them relentlessly, you will achieve them. That's why you see everyone keeps saying consistency, consistency, consistency. Because a lot of time we start, and then people, no, not we, because I don't give up like that. People start and they stop halfway because their mind will tell them, you can't continue like this. You can't do this. You can't do that. This is not for you. You should give yourself a break. Not everyone can achieve these kind of things. So I said here, I wrote here that, thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Again, we are streaming from YouTube and from TikTok. And I'm Kate Rain. My name on TikTok is HR Kate. And our name on YouTube is Winning Mindset. I want my people to win in their mind. You have to start winning with your mind. Because before you win in the physical, you have to win with your mind. And something I outlined here, I said the subconscious mind controls 95% of your life. So if you can win with your mind, if you start here, you've won, And I quoted the scriptures. I said the Bible says that whatever you think or ask, God is able to give you exceedingly abundantly above all that you think or ask, which means that when you think about it, you're praying about it actually. Here in the section 2, I said, how beliefs shape perception and behavior. Your beliefs, they shape your perception and your behavior. Whatever you believe. If you believe that it's hard for you, so I'm not a morning person. I don't really wake up early. I'm not a morning person. And you will not be a morning person. You wake up pretty late and you'll be going to the work late, and your boss will not be happy with you, and you will say your boss is a bad person. And you believe that you're a morning person, you have the right to wake up early. You wake up pretty early, you prepare yourself, put yourself together, and get to work on time and do your work on time. If you believe that, your beliefs shape your perception and your behavior. If you believe that you're running a business, or you're looking for a job, okay, and you get to somewhere, let's say you decide to go and look for the job in person, okay? You're going with your CV, and you get somewhere, maybe you look at the building, it's very classy and it's very nice, and you feel like, oh, these kind of places are not for people like me. I don't think I can give out my CV there. I don't believe someone would like to employ me there. That's definitely gonna happen. No one would like to employ you there. No one would like to employ you there. But if you believe that, oh, this kind of area is for me, maybe I might want to start like a waiter, but I'll see myself in the next 2 years being promoted in this place as a manager. While I work hard and I study, I see myself, this place is going to be for me like maybe the starting point. I just want to say something. I see myself like this one is going to be for me like a starting point, and definitely I'm not going to stay in this position. I'm going higher and higher. That is what you will be. If you believe that, oh, I'm just a waiter or whatever, and this is all I can do. I didn't study. My friends study, so I didn't study, and I don't believe that I can get another kind of job. I can get something really good. This is just my level. This is all what I'm going to do, and this is how my life all is going to be. That is how it's going to be. But if you believe that, oh, even though I did not study, I didn't go to school, but I can be whatever I want to be. And since I am having this job for now, this job is going to be like a ladder for me to get to where I want to go to. This job for me is going to be like a ladder. I'm going to strategize. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to put my life together and get whatever I want to have. You will definitely get it. There is nothing like impossible. Impossible, if you can spell it out, it says, I am possible. Possible, impossible, I am. Right? I am possible. You just put I hyphen am possible. But we are the one that gives it that name, impossible, because we want to be comfortable. Like, people like me cannot achieve those things. People like me cannot have that. Why people like you cannot have those things? Why people like you cannot have those things? What's the difference? You definitely can have whatever you want to have. You just have to change your belief system. Believe that you can. Believe that you can. Believe that you can. Believe that you can. What is that thing that you want to achieve? What is that thing that you've been willing to achieve? What is that thing that you've been desiring to have? What is that thing that you've been believing that you want to have? What is that one thing that you believe that you have to have it? You have to believe that you can. Your beliefs shape your lifestyle. If you believe that things are difficult and those kind of areas, these kind of things are not for you, they will not be for you. What is that area? I have a friend who owns, thank you guys, thank you so much for joining. I have a friend who owns a school, okay? She owns a school and, sometimes she believes like she can. There are some barriers that when she says that I want to achieve these things, when she shares it with me, I'll feel like, but these things are not really, achievable. And how are you going to scale through all those barriers and get them? But her belief starts giving her strategies on how to break each of those barriers. Once you believe that you want something, right? Your beliefs start opening your minds. Through this way, I can break this barrier and get to this level. Through this way, I can get this barrier and I can break this barrier and get to this other level. Through this way, your beliefs pushes you and opens your eye to find the solution to get to where you want to go. And you keep pushing on and being persistent, you achieve all those things that you ever desire to achieve. I want to encourage you to stop limiting yourself. Stop counting, stop putting yourself out. Stop saying, no, I cannot achieve this. Stop saying these are not things for people like me. No. It's for people like you. The Bible calls you a royal priesthood. It says a peculiar generation. God created you to be the head and not the tail. The Bible says you are the head and not the tail. You're supposed to be at the top. You're supposed to be number one in any field that you are. Why are you limiting yourself? Why are you saying you cannot achieve those things? Why are you bringing down yourself by your own words? Why are you limiting yourself? Believe that you can. Believe in yourself. Stay focused, stay persistent. Believe in yourself. Or you're working somewhere and you feel like you're not good enough, you're not a good person, or better still, you're not a good worker in the company. And that is how you portray the aura, and that's how everybody starts looking at you. Before you know, your bosses is always raising their voice at you. They feel like, oh, you're not good. But if you say, oh, I'm blessed to be in this company, and I'm happy this company is having a worker like me because I'm smart, I'm brave, I'm this. You keep confessing those things to yourself and you keep looking for ways to strategize to make those confessions your reality. Or what do you want to achieve? Are you comfortable where you are? Are you very happy where you are? Are you happy with the job you're doing? Are you happy? If you're not happy, I advise you don't quit immediately unless you have enough money in your bank account. Yes, don't quit immediately. Strategize. Study. What do you want to be? What do you want to become? While you're working in the place A, you have some time to work on build yourself with place B, whereby by the time you're quitting your current job to build maybe your business, you have enough finances to back up that area, or you have some finances to put it on there, or better say you can still be doing them side to side. Believe in yourself. Your beliefs shape your behavior. If you believe that, oh, I'm very chubby, or better still, I have I have weight, a lot of weight, and I don't believe that I can lose this weight. I think I was born like this. When I was a child, this is how I was. My parent told me I was naturally very chubby, so I don't believe that I can lose this weight. That is what is going to happen. You will not lose the weight. You're just going to stay there, be comfortable. You're going to just be eating and adding the weight and keep giving the same complaint, repeated complaint every time and saying the same thing. But if you say, this is how I was born, okay, but I want to reshape my life. I don't want the way I am now. I want to change everything. I want to change my trajectory. I want to change my future. I want to look in this way. And how do I get to this way? You have a picture of how you want to look at. And then you start working towards that. You're definitely going to change. You definitely are going to change. Now, another thing is also the power of affirmation and visualization. How do you see yourself? I think I mentioned that earlier, right? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself like a weakling? You see yourself like someone who her friends are better than? Or when I was in school, my friends usually always at the top and I'm always at the last. So I don't believe that I can actually have those levels of intelligence like my friend. You know, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself like that one bad worker in that company? That's when you see your boss, you're just frightened and you feel like, oh, my boss doesn't like me. Or when you see the people, you just try to be extra kind so they can like you because you feel like they don't like you. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself like a royal priesthood? Because the Bible says you're a royal priesthood. Do you see yourself like an exceptional worker, that you're in that company to add value to that company? Hi, Danny. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you so much for joining. Do you see yourself like someone who is into that company to add value to that company? You're working somewhere. Whenever somebody passes by, you feel like, oh my God, someone looks by, you feel like, oh my God, maybe they are looking at me. They feel like maybe I'm not well put together today. I think maybe that's why they are looking at me. Or they are looking at me. I feel like maybe this person passes by and feel like my hair is smelling. Maybe that's why they are looking at me. Or this person is looking at me. I think like they are looking at my shoe. Maybe my shoe is not my shoe is not clean, something like that. How do you see yourself? The power of affirmation. When you see yourself like a queen, then you are a queen. Once you see yourself like a brave girl, a brave boy, you see yourself like a smart boy. You keep, affirming those words. I am brave, I am smart, I am hardworking, I am focused, I am happy, I am beautiful, I am determined, I am a go-getter. I bring value to my company. I add value to myself. Wherever I go, I bring joy. I remember when I used to live in Turkey, I used to work there. And I wake up early in the morning. I'll go to the gym. I used to be so slim. Oh my God, I want to be slim again. I wake up and I go to the gym. And I work out at the gym. And I have to be in school at 8:30, okay? And the school was on the ground floor. And the gym was on the first floor. So I had to leave my home at 6:30 a.m. I go to the gym. I work out for 1 hour, 30 minutes. By 8 a.m., I'm done. I take my shower. By 8:30, I'm downstairs. And Mommy. Hi, baby. I'm live, please. So I take my shower and then I get downstairs and I feel active. So when I'm hi, baby. And your TikTok video. Thank you. Nothing for us. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so my girls are back. Anyway, so as I was mentioning, once I go down, I'm giving out joy. I'm giving out happiness. I come back, I feel so agile. And everyone is like, oh, you're here. Go and change your dress.
Enjoy.
So,
But this is
my children are making noise. Anyway, let's go back to business. So, yeah. Once I go downstairs and I'm going, and you see the teachers like, Merhaba Catherine, Merhaba Catherine, that means hello Catherine, hello Catherine, because I go there with so much joy. So sometimes they are excited to see me there. Oh my God, you're here, I'm always coming down with some energy, You don't want to go. And there was one time that a situation happened and I was a little bit like, and everybody was like, Catherine, you missing no, you missing no. That is, Catherine, you okay? What happened? What happened? Because, guys, just a second, please. Anita, Adrian, tell Sister Anita to control Bethel to stop shouting, please. Tell Sister Anita to control Bethel to stop shouting, please. Okay, guys, yes, that's all. The girls are making too much noise. So yeah, as I was saying, we have to be positive about ourselves, okay? We have to be that aura, that happy aura. Of course, not for the people, but for yourself. You have to give yourself the positive affirmation. You have to talk yourself happy. You have to confess those happy things. You don't have to wait affirmation from anyone. Okay? You have to affirm yourself. So today, if you're just joining us, we are talking about unlocking the power of the mind. Unlocking the power of the mind. We said train your brain to transform your life. You can train your brain to transform your life. A lot of people have the victim. They feel like, oh, I cannot do this because, actually I was born like this. You were born an illiterate. Excuse me. You were born an illiterate. When you were born, you did not know how to read. But you study and now you can read. You study and now you can write. So if you were born maybe in a way, you can actually change those things. Because these are all beliefs. Some people believe like, oh no, I cannot achieve that. That's not for somebody like me. But then that's not something you have to say, because any good thing is for people like you and for people like I. It's not made for particular people. Imagine the right things for yourself, okay? And then here, I said the subconscious mind control up to 95% of your life. You're not lazy. You have been programmed. The subconscious mind, your mind will tell you, oh, you cannot achieve this. Oh, this is not for you, and then you try to dwell in it and you feel like, okay, the weather is too cold, I cannot go out. Or the weather is too hot, I cannot, you keep limiting yourself because of your belief. And then we went ahead again and addressed the power of that your belief will control your perception. And we've also talked about the power of affirmation and visualization. If you see yourself like a grasshopper, you always be a grasshopper. But if you see yourself like, wherever I am now, it's just a process. I'm going somewhere and I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it big time. And where are you going to? What is your definition of where you're going to? Where are you going to? Or maybe, for example, I'm going to be the CEO of a clothing company, or I want to be a clothing influencer, or I want to be the CEO of a cleaning company, or the CEO of a maintenance company, or motivational speaker, whatever. Where do you see yourself? Visualize yourself in that place already. Keep visualizing yourself, see yourself there, and then you look for strategies on how to get there, and then you already believe that you as well can get there. Look at those people that are there already. Visualize them, admire them, and believe that you too can get there. Now I talk here about cognitive reframing, shifting your inner narrative. Cognitive reframing, shifting your inner narrative. That means your inner self tells you this is who you are. You cannot have this. Those kind of things are for this kind of people. But now you do what? You reframe it. You say, yes, this is who I was, but now this is who I want to be. Or I might be a cleaner, but then I don't want to stay there cleaner forever. I want to be a motivational speaker. So while I'm cleaning, I need to shift. I need to reframe my life. What do I do to become this person? Thank you so much, God's favorite. I appreciate you. I'm talking to God's favorite on TikTok. So what do I do to become this person I want to be? I want to reframe my life. I want to become this particular person. What do I do to reframe my life to become this person? We have to look for ways to build ourselves. We have to look for ways to achieve those things, and we have to believe. Believing in yourself is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself. It makes you become limitless, It makes you become brave. It makes you it shifts your belief. People now don't get to tell you who you are. You get to tell them who you are. Sometimes people will tell you, do you think you can do that? I know you very well now. You're not that kind of person. You cannot even go through that part. But you tell the person, I know myself better. I know myself better. I can achieve that, and I can achieve 1,000,000 times more. So learn to believe in yourself. Cognitive reframing, shifting your inner narrative. Shift your inner narrative. What do you tell yourself in the inside? Do you tell yourself that this is who I am, and I am not fit enough, I am not good enough, I cannot achieve those things, I cannot attain those levels? Are those the things you tell your inner self? Reframe it. Tell them tell your inner self, this is who I was. Now this is what I want to achieve, and I am achieving it, and I am achieving it within this time range. Even if it means knocking on people's door non-stop. Now, I have someone that I'm doing business with, okay? And I think a couple of months ago, I was writing to him, and he was not actually responding. I was writing, I was not responding. Normally, I would have felt like, but we've done business. At least you could just tell me, hi, there's not been business for now. I'll not get back to you, just wait. But he was not responding, and I felt like, okay, why is he not responding? Is everything okay? Nevertheless, I never gave up. I kept knocking the door. I kept knocking. Hi, good afternoon. How are you doing? Hope you're doing very well. I just stopped by to say hi. I just sent a message on WhatsApp. I sent him a message on WhatsApp. And before I knew it, a couple of days ago, he responded, and I responded with a business. But if I had told my inner self, like, I think this person, maybe he doesn't want to work with me, or how people always victimize themselves and say, oh, I think they're just being racist, and they don't want to work with people like me. In fact, I don't think those jobs are for people like us. They are being racist. These are the kind of things that I think I can have. Now you have already put a belief on yourself that is limiting you. But if you decide to, what's that word? You reframe your cognitive, and then you shift your inner narrative. You tell yourself, okay, these people are not responding because maybe they don't need our service. But then I'm gonna keep going, and I will find people that will be happy to take services for people like me, and that will find it as a privilege to work with someone like me. Oh my God. Guys, I'm so sorry. My baby's a noise. So let's go to the next section, okay? So can we have a little bit of time here where we can, talk a little bit? Okay. Okay, I want someone to respond to me. Can anyone share with us any limiting beliefs that you had? Any limiting belief? Maybe you want us to add you to the live session, or you just want to write any limiting belief that you think that is what have stopped you. Some people, their own limiting belief, they feel like, oh, somebody can say my own limiting is that I'm shy. I cannot put the camera on and speak. I was talking to a friend today. Before we go back there, I was talking to a friend today. She's into turkey business, right? So she told me, I was like, I told her that you confessed this to me, I think about 3 years ago. I told her, I said, when you started this business, you mentioned that you're going to be the #1 model for Turkey clothing, and they're going to be paying you to be dressing, to be putting on the clothes. I told her like that. And I'm proud of you because this is 3 years down the line. And when I go to the Turkish business pages to share the clothes, most of the pictures I found, they are yours. You see what I said? First, the power of the mouth. And she had already seen herself. So she confirmed to me, she said, yes, they actually send me so many clothes to measure them. So many clothes to measure them. And no matter the number they send to me, it's for free. So I just sample them and put them in my shop. And those clothes, they sell in thousands of dollars. They sell in thousands of dollars. So that carries us back to what I had said initially, your belief. Your belief. If you believe that you are going to be modeling clothes for Turkey or for somewhere so much that you'll be the top and they will not mind paying you any amount they want to pay you in order for you to sample their clothes, that's huge. And then it became a reality. That's huge. So before we proceed, I want someone out here to tell me whatever has been your limiting belief. What do you think have limited you? Like maybe you feel like you were not supposed to be at this level, but a particular kind of belief have limited you to where you are right now. Can someone just maybe leave a comment so we can elaborate on? While you're thinking, let me also be thinking for me. Personally, I would say one of my own limiting beliefs have been, I've always feel like before I could put up maybe the camera to come and say something, I have to be so much sophisticated. I have to be so much put together, have everything so right before I come live, before I come on here. So to me, I can also say that was my limiting belief because I wanted to be all perfect. Whereas perfection is nowhere close to anything here on earth, right? So I wanted to be all perfect before I come live here. So that was mine. So anyone can say something. What has been your limiting belief? What has been your limiting belief? What has been your limiting belief? There are many different kind of limiting belief. Can someone tell us what has been your limiting belief? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. What has been, some things that people have been limiting people from achieving their goals? Okay. Now, I also want to ask a question. What's one thing that you want to attract in your life? Can someone tell me? What's one thing that you want to attract in your life? Type it in the comment section. What's one thing that you want to attract in your life? What's one thing that you want to attract in your life? For me, since I'm into business, I want to attract the right clients, and I want to attract, thank you so much, I'm doing very well. I want to attract the right clients. I also want to attract the right workers. I want to attract the right team. I want to attract the right people. I want to attract businesses. I want to attract good business, So what's the one thing? Hi, thank you so much, Ashma. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing the video. Can you tell me what's one thing you want to attract in your life? What's that one thing that you want to attract in your life? Someone here to tell us what's one thing? Okay, guys, we're gonna be closing the live in a moment. Before we close the live, I want to also reiterate on what we are talking about today. We have been talking about unlocking the power of your mind, train your brain to transform your life. Train your life, okay? And then we've talked also about how you visualize yourself. I said your belief shape your life. Your belief shape the way you live. If you believe that you cannot achieve anything, of course you cannot achieve the thing. But if you believe that you can achieve, you will definitely achieve. So your belief shape your life. And then we also drew something right here where we said 95% of our life is from our subconscious. Before the subconscious mind controls 95% of our life. And I reminded us that you're not lazy, you're just being programmed. Your mind tells you, oh, you cannot do this thing. Have you ever tried sometime when your mind tells you cannot do these things, and then you did it and you realize that it was actually easy, like you did it? But because you allow your mind to limit you, and you keep fueling and giving it reason why you cannot do the things that your mind tells you cannot do, you find yourself again in that position. So we have talked about belief, changing our minds and our perception and our behavior. Someone will say, this is how I was actually born. I was born chubby and I've always been like that. I cannot lose weight. All those things. And the power of affirmation, when you affirm yourself and you visualize yourself, I am blessed, I am favored, I have the right people, I have the right friends, I attract the right people. You affirm, I am hardworking, I am determined, I am loved, I attract the right love. You keep affirming those things, and also you visualize yourself having those things that you desire to have. You just visualize yourself, oh, for now I'm working as a cleaner, but then I want to be the CEO of a clothes production company. You visualize yourself and you start maybe following online or studying those people that have that, and you visualize yourself in that level, and then you work gradually towards the level you desire to have. You work towards that level, the level you desire to attain. And also we talk about the cognitive reframing, shifting your inner narrative. Cognitive reframing, that is, in your mind you feel like, oh, this particular thing, I could not achieve it, but now I am able to achieve this thing. So yeah. And then we went ahead again, and then we'll talk about Adriel, please stop. So yeah, we went about, and also we talk about the meditation. So we're gonna end here, but I just want to give you guys these tools that you can use to practice victorious mind. So practice meditation and breath work. Meditation, when to wake up in the morning, you tell yourself, meditate. You have them read. It's sometimes I love having them. You read them before, after you wake up, before you go to bed. I have whatever amount you want to have before the end of the year. You write it down. Kind of job, I have this kind of amount. I have the right friends. I am blessed. I am favored. I walk in ease. I walk in abundance. I have everything I need. Money comes to me easily. Money comes to me fast. Money comes to me in different forms. I have everything I need. I have the right people. You meditate on those things and you believe them. You can write 5, you can write 7, you can write just 5 powerful meditations. You read them to yourself and you meditate on them. You close your eyes, you keep saying them before you sleep. And once you wake up, you read them again, you keep saying them once you wake up. And during the day, you can read them along the line. Those things build your mind, they make you feel, oh, I am strong. But I feel like I'm weak. These kind of things I cannot do, but your mind told you, but you told me in the morning that you're strong. You can achieve them, you see. And then we have, that's the meditation. You keep meditating on those things. Affirming, like, I can do it. I can't. Oh, that's not for me. I can't. No, I can. I can have any amount of money I want to have. I can have the right company to work with. I can have the right workers. I can have the right team. I can have the right clients. I can be number one in a cleaning company. I can be number one in the hairdressing team. I can be number one CEO in this country. I can. You affirm those things to yourself. And then you visualization exercise. You close your eyes and then you visualize those things that you keep saying. You close your eyes and you keep visualizing them. Sometimes lying on the bed, you visualize them. Sometimes sitting in the car, you visualize them. Anywhere you're free to visualize those things that you can achieve them. Journaling, you're writing the things. You keep writing them. That's also very important. Better stop shouting. I think it's still. Dopamine discipline, okay. You have to stay focused. You have to stay focused. You have to stay very, very focused. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. We'll come again in another session and we will be very happy to have you guys again. Please subscribe and we'll be very happy to keep sharing. God bless you. Bye.
Keep quiet. Stop setting me.
Thank you guys so much for joining. End the live session. Guys, I want to end the live. Oh, I think you've done something. Okay, good. Can you please stop? At least 1 minute to contact. No, I want to close this thing. I'm live. I'm trying to close it. Oh my god. I'm trying to close the live. I don't know how to do this. And I'm trying to close this thing and wait, please. Are you sure you want to end